Howdy, folks. Welcome back to the show. Hope you guys are having a great evening, great Saturday. I've been pretty busy today, got a lot done, but enough of all that. Let's bring in Justin. Hey, Justin, how you doing? James, I see
Okay.
you there in the wings. I'll bring you in a minute. What's happening, man? How you doing?
Uh, Me? I'm
Yeah.
fine. I'm just trying to get my damn camera to work.
Right on, right on, right
Yeah,
on.
yeah, yeah.
Had a good dinner, had a busy day, got to sleep in. That was the best part of it. The first Saturday, really got to sleep in a good long time. Normally, I'm up with the sun.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm usually still up with the sun.
Yeah, you I don't know how you do it, man. Oh, I know how you
Uh,
do it. It's involuntary, correct?
yep. It's involuntary.
Hey, our old friend is over here. Let's bring him in. DM James, how the hell you doing, man? I saw you were doing a show, and I didn't think to interrupt, but welcome to the show.
Yeah, I knew you were doing a show at some point, but I never can keep your weird commie time.
Well, I've only been doing this like 2 years, the same time, so I can see how that could be an issue.
Really, you're gonna start out shots fired right off the bat, huh?
Hey, I haven't seen you in a while. Speaking of haven't seen you, how's your brother, man?
He is good. He's asleep. He apparently cooked a pot roast and ate it.
Pot
That'll do it.
roast.
Yeah, if I ate a whole pot roast, you wouldn't see me for like 3 days.
So yeah,
Glad to hear it.
Saturday
Hopefully
night
he'll.
sci-fi chat. What are you sci-fiing about tonight?
This is the end of the month, so we talk about whatever is on our warped little minds. No topic. Uh, this was Justin's idea way back when, and it kind of makes it easy. Gives us like a free show, so that we don't have to feel like, we gotta milk some tired old topic
You
again.
were going to cancel a week because you couldn't think of anything.
Was that it? Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Surprisingly, that's not happened a lot. I usually have something, and next week I'm gonna dredge up some old D&D type topics that I've been wanting to talk about because I've been doing some side reading. Hopefully folks will dig it, but then again, I remember I usually don't care. I'll beat the death out of an old topic like
I've got a topic. I've got a
what's
topic. Space orcs. Are they black or Mexican?
honestly, I'm gonna go with I think they're Filipino.
They're Filipino.
I posted the meme on them, and it had this like space orc war boss looking at the D&D orc picture, and it's like, I is a fungus, and even I know that's gay. It's like, it's like,
Jackie died a little bit when he saw that picture, and
how does Jackie
can't,
feel about
can't,
being an orc now?
uh,
Yeah.
hey Raven, welcome to the show. Long time no see.
Raven
Uh,
figured out
Hi.
how the internet worked.
you know,
Very funny.
I don't know if you guys have been watching Beelzebub's videos, but
Mm.
my God, oh, they're so funny. Why he's only at 45 subs and isn't just like
Oops, sorry.
Exactly.
breaking new records and driving people crazy. My God, he is so freaking funny. I can watch.
Honestly, I think the main thing is the video format. He films them like they're going to be shorts, and they're not.
Oh, okay.
I think that's the main thing.
I think
Like
it's just that people who aren't from Kentucky hate Kentucky.
Nah,
I
I'm
don't
not.
hate Kentucky.
Yeah, I
How are
wasn't.
you, Czar James? Good to see you here tonight. How you been?
Hello. I have been pretty good, and I am currently painting up some of the old British version of Cluedo characters.
Oh,
Of
cool.
what characters?
Clue. You know the game Clue?
Oh, okay. You said it the British version, Cluedo.
Yeah,
Okay,
the
yeah, I was
British version was called Cluedo. And instead of Mr. Blue, he was Pastor Blue. He's
Ah,
even
okay.
got like the collar on. He's an Anglican or something.
Yeah, cool.
And so I printed out 3 sets of these guys so that I can keep some for me and then give some to someone else.
Ah,
I literally have not played Clue since I was in juvenile hall. So
my favorite was the library with the candlestick. Always did the murders in the library with the candlestick.
It's always Mr. Mustard.
I thought it was Colonel.
Colonel Mustard. He's
Ah,
the one
whatever.
that has the military experience.
What'd you guys think of the movie?
He's already.
What version?
Good answer. Good answer. I really love that movie, but more than that movie, I'm gonna say I love Murder by Death even more. I
Murder by
saw
Death, the
I
parody.
saw Murder by Death. My dad and I and my brother, I think, went to the drive-in. I think my mom stayed home that night to see Close Encounters, and it was getting the first movie had ended, and my brother was already asleep, and my dad's looking at me. He's like, "You want to stick around for this?" And I'm like, "Why not, Dad? Quality time, blah blah blah." And we were watching, and he's looking at me like, "You understood that?" Because it was kind of an adult themed movie, for the time. It had some jokes in there, and I'm like, "Yeah, this is freaking funny." I was a big fan of bogey movies and Sherlock Holmes, so there was some of the other detectives in it. I didn't know who they were supposed to be, but oh my god! And James Cromwell, he was great in it. Peter Falk, just
I liked Close Encounters of the Third Kind. That movie,
No, I
I
disagree
begged
with
my
you on
parents to
that.
take me back again and again to see
That was
that.
a classic.
I never liked it.
You
Which
didn't?
one?
I got a question. I got a
Close
question
Encounters.
specifically for Justin though.
What?
What color should this cat girl's hair be?
Oh, your camera's too blurry, but I don't
Because
know.
believe it or
Yellow,
not, I was
orange.
inspired to actually
Cat girl.
make a couple of cat girls because you're always talking about them. I was like, I
Yeah,
think
they're the most degenerate fucking thing without being super gay.
you're
That
the one
Got a
exists.
that's always
fetish.
talking about them.
hey,
Yeah, but as a joke.
there are worse fetishes out there. Just saying.
No, this is
Yeah.
true. This is true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's-
We won't
Justin,
go
I
there.
need a couple of cat girls. One's a mechanic and the other's a gunfighter. In case I ever play a sci-fi game and somebody wants to play a cat girl.
James, do you remember that classic Grenadier miniature that came in a lot of the box sets? It was a girl kneeling down, and she had like a panther or something like that as a pet.
I remember there was like a Frazetta painting.
I think
Okay.
I know that Rosetta painting.
Well, when I painted up that miniature, I actually painted her up as Tigra from the Avengers,
Oh,
which back then I was pretty young. I managed to pull it off with like an orange base coat and some black. And
O'Neill, no, but I do joke about having one.
oh shit, I'm not watching the chat. What am I on?
Yeah. What? No.
Well, no, it's
You guys are just gonna start talking about cat girls, and then I'm gonna have to actually have a fetish about one.
hey, anything we do to help, man. Mercurius, welcome to the show. O'Neill, long time no see, which is like last week. Tonka
Well-
Todd, that's definitely a long time no see.
if I ever start running a Stars Without Number,
Who is
campaign
this? What is
online,
that channel?
I've got Justin's character right here.
No, I'm not playing
Bruce,
no
I
cat
was
girl.
wondering. We
Oh,
got
cat girl
package
sidekick.
today from Amazon. We haven't opened it yet, and I was like, it was addressed to Shadow and Sun, and I'm like, I'm literally not expecting anything in the mail, and I'm like, I bet it's from Bruce. So probably Monday we'll pop that open and see what's in there. But whatever it is, I'm sure we'll love it. That was really really cool of you, out of nowhere, just like, hey, here, have something. Not like I'm not already like up to my freaking elbows in boxes of stuff. I literally, I got those maps the other day. I couldn't put them back in the tube because the tube is just kind of just dangerous. It's so rough on the inside. So I've got like these 5 rolled up maps right here. I have no freaking clue what to do with
Rough
them.
on the inside. No, just roll one up, the biggest one, and put it in, and then the next slide it down.
Well, the
Yeah,
thing is,
you got to do it one at a time with tube.
the inside of the tube is like really rough and almost like sandpaper. So
It won't affect it unless you put the ink
Space
side out.
cowboys and cat girls. That's what I'm
Yeah.
talking about.
But I also got a package from Amazon today. Yeah,
Did you?
it was $58.38.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
but you're not going to tell us what was in it?
Yeah, what was
No,
in
it
it?
was $58.30.
For your AI stories?
No, I have alternative character sheets for Morkborg up on Amazon.
Oh, nice.
Cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow, that's awesome, dude. I mean,
Oh,
you
which is
know,
nice.
to most people might not seem like a lot. Um,
It's not, but like it's more than one pizza, and that's how I value worth in the world.
that's dinner at a fast food place for a couple folks.
You can get a
Uh,
couple of pizzas for $50. Good
Yeah.
ones.
Well, yeah, but for not doing anything beyond creating the thing and putting it up there, getting paid is like, who cares how much it is?
Look at you. You're a game designer now.
Eh,
wow, man, nice. No,
just
seriously,
a character sheet.
so proud of you, man. You say you're going to do the things, you do the things, and then, boom, you're getting
Yeah,
paid. That's awesome.
yeah.
That's
That's
really
why I tell
awesome.
you, do things. All right, do
I,
things.
I'm
Either they work or they don't. But if you don't do them, they don't work. That's the only guarantee.
mhm.
Like my bro used to always tell me, I guess this is a Michigan thing. You miss every shot you don't take.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I like the one whether you think you can or you can't. You're right.
yeah. That's also true.
No
Yeah.
worries, Raven. Get your camera on when you're ready. You know,
Yeah,
we we're
we
not.
understand you and technology.
Well,
That's
hey
not it.
TC,
I ended up having
Lies.
TCG,
I ended up having to
TCG.
bottle feed 3 kittens, and I'm a mess. So I'm gonna.
I keep telling you, stop feeding them, start eating them.
No, God, don't. I've lost 2 today. I get out of here. Sorry I brought it up. Mm.
You know, I'm starting to secretly think that that's what's actually happening. Is she has been eating them and she just doesn't.
No! Oh God! Don't even say something like that. I can't. No, no. Stop. Change the subject, please.
There's like 35 of them. Hey, Bo,
No,
long time no
no,
see.
no, no. There's not
Understood,
35
Bo.
of
Good
them.
game last night. Oh,
Uh,
I have yet to break the bad news to Brian, but I'm looking forward to it.
What?
Hi, crafting gamer.
Yeah,
I killed
crafty.
his character last night.
Mercurius.
Shot her right in the gut. Uh,
Why?
just
Oh,
because I felt like it.
long time no
Uh,
see.
TCG, you know where the link is if you want to come in and hang out with us weirdos.
Yeah.
Anybody else, who we know regularly, there's 2 more spots. We're going to be here for a while. Justin said he might have to bail early, which is, unfortunate, but, you know,
Yeah, I
Who
got
are
an
you gonna
early
pick
morning.
on? I hope you don't think you're gonna pick on me in his absence.
well, damn. My plan has been foiled preemptively.
Yeah.
Whatever shall I do?
Oh, Bo, you cat the other white meat. That's terrible. Bo, that's terrible.
Yeah.
It,
The
it is until you
what
throw some
me?
seasonal, a little pepper.
Oh God, you guys, stop it.
If
Hey,
you've
you know
ever
what?
watched, I think it's Enter the Dragon.
Yeah.
Scene where
Raven, a billion people can't be all wrong.
the scene where
Hey.
Bruce Lee's in the graveyard and he like grabs the spit of whatever and he starts eating the meat.
Yeah. That's
That's
cat
cat.
me.
Oh, Bo,
Oh hell no, 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 no,
That's a
stop
cat.
spoil
it.
my fun.
No, no, no.
Yeah.
Bo, the link is in the link channel at the very top of my Discord. If you want to come in, haven't seen
Yeah.
you since
Yeah.
yesterday, but
And
I was
then
going to
in
say
Jackie
whatever.
Chan's Super Cop, when him and his partner walk into the restaurant, Jackie Chan orders roast cat with peas.
Or in A Knight's Tale, when they were at the thing, the guy was yelling out "cat's feet and hot wine." So, you know.
I don't remember that from A Knight's Tale. I even have that movie.
Yeah.
Was he really?
Yeah, they were yelling, cat's feet, hot wine, cat's feet, hot wine.
Oh,
I
the
think it was
hell!
a nice tale.
Wine
I'm
makes
gonna
I
sense.
don't
go
know. I
get
don't know
the
which is worse, the hot wine or the cat meat.
No,
This
hot wine was normal back then.
Yeah, I know, but it still
It
sounds gross.
might have
Yeah,
been
they,
spiced
they
wine.
called it mulled wine. They would like spice the wine and then put like a red hot poker in it and stir it around
Yeah,
so
give it a
that
little bit of a boil.
be warm.
kill all the germs
Yeah,
Yeah, probably
from the unsanitary bowl that they cooked it in.
yeah.
right.
Uh,
That was back in the good old days where if you had a
where people knew what to do with cats. Eat
direct,
Oh, stop it!
just ran it directly into the nearest lake. You know, like who cares if everyone drinks from that lake? Just run the sewer right to it.
Yeah,
Or they would just throw their chamber pots right out the window and would land on
Oh
people
my
walking
God.
below.
yeah.
Oh, I
yeah.
Can you imagine walking down the street and getting whacked right in the
I
head?
know.
Oh,
How
well,
awful.
yeah, as a matter of fact, I can. We went to Frisco about a month ago, so
You went
Be like-
where?
San Francisco.
Oh.
yeah.
Oh,
You
And
get
I,
like
I didn't really
Frisco
kill.
Bay.
It would kill the joke otherwise, but yeah.
that's the number 7 in my local Chinese place. Oh, Bo, stop it. You're funny, though.
Feline hot pot.
Laugh, but it's not funny, but it's funny.
Hey, you know, it's not like we're talking about dogs. I mean, come on.
Yeah, those are a decent animal.
Yeah,
Oh,
my
here
tasty.
we go. The old war between cats and dogs. Okay. Listen.
Hey,
my biological father almost killed a whole family of people over a dog once.
wow,
Really?
good for him.
Do
Yeah,
tell.
he had a dog in Vietnam, and it come up missing, and he went looking for it, and he found a Vietnamese family. They hadn't killed it or anything yet, but they were gonna.
They were going
And
to.
he stormed into their house with his 45 out, and
Good for him.
got his dog back.
Good. I'm glad this
And
has
then
a
all their
happy
little-
ending.
All their little kids
Well,
cried,
Either
though.
way, it would have. I'm sorry.
Had to go to bed with empty bellies, but
Well, he could have fed them. He could have just given them
Dogs
some
and cats, they're sentient animals. They
No,
they
they're
have
not.
feelings. They do too. They do.
I don't
too.
think you know what the word sentient means.
They're conscious. They're sentient.
Well,
they're conscious.
That
They have
doesn't
an
even go
awareness
for humans
of
all the time.
themselves. Unlike some animals, only have like an awareness of the pack. They are conscious of their individuality. That's what I mean by sentient.
Yeah, that's not always a good thing. Have you been outside lately? Hey, Bo. This is what I was talking about. I don't know if you can see it. Got this from Grimm last week. Not only did he send me a copy of the Arachnid Hopper Bugs, but he sent me a hardback copy of Starship Troopers. I've been looking for that book forever. I think I
Yeah.
have a paperback, but I'm trying to convert all my books to hardback. You know, back in the day, we always wanted paperback, and now I'm thinking, you know what? No, I think hardback's the way to go. They last longer.
Yeah.
They're more
I'm
durable.
seriously thinking of taking a binding. That way I can have all the books I want in the same spine style.
yeah, just
Kind of, that you were mentioning that. I didn't think about it like that, but that's
Yeah.
kind of awesome if you could, you know, even if you can't pick up all the materials so they're all identical bindings, you could still have like
Close enough.
The lawyer bookshelf where you have like, okay, this row is this row is that. Maybe even, you know, parse it out like sci-fi get blue covers, fantasy get other covers, western get, you know, another cover. That's actually kind of awesome.
Yeah, well, I'd probably go for very standardized materials that have been around for a long time. That way I know.
See, that's
ordering
another
them
reason for you to
in
freaking start a
repetition.
family. It ain't too late. Get a passel of kids, and that way you can, you know, pass them on down as opposed
Just
to
wait like 5 or 6 years, and then just like, okay, here's your hobby. I know you want T-ball, but you're taking up bookbinding instead.
yeah.
Hi, Mac.
Hey, what's up, Mac?
Oh,
Again.
Bo is tearing it up. That's funny. In the U.S., we walk our dogs. In North Korea, they walk their dogs. Oh, God. That's terrible, but it's funny.
Yeah, it's an old one. Be careful with that one. It's antique. Mac, if you want to jump in, the link is in the link channel at the top of my Discord. I haven't seen you in a good long while.
Yeah, come on in, Mac.
Yeah, we miss you on
I think I saw Matt
Yes,
Sundays.
we
yesterday.
do.
We don't miss Brian though.
Oh, we
Mm,
do too.
I know. Brian's freaking hysterical.
I don't know. The heated debates about cat girls and him trying to get me to actually be into that and not just joke about it. It was kind of creepy.
Uh,
I don't remember actually being through that debate, but I just assumed that it would happen eventually. So
actually, throughout the years, because I did have a race of cat folk in my main campaign for decades, so I've seen quite a few people run the male and the female version, and I never once uh, thought of it like that. Just saying.
weird.
Well, you had cats.
Yeah, I did have
Have
cats.
you?
I've had cats. I had 9 at one time.
What? You're almost as bad as Raven. Please tell me you ate some of them.
What happened was I had
Oh God, you're awful.
what happened was I had 2 girl cats, and they both got pregnant at the same time. One was the mother, one was the daughter originally, and they both got pregnant at the same time. They both gave birth at the same time, and I found homes for all of them. But
Unlike Raven.
this was back when you could. I lived in Virginia, and the pet stores were like, yeah, we'll take them, no problem. Thank you.
Yeah, you
Come
can't do
again.
that anymore. It's not like it used
Hey,
to be.
Fuzzface, what are you doing, buddy? What are you doing? Speaking of dogs, you want to go for a walk?
Get him all excited. And
Bo
then
loves cats with peppers and
Jackie,
onions. Come over here.
Jackie,
Okay, Bo,
walk the
stop
dog.
it.
With peppers and onions.
He
Peppers and
says,
onions go good with just about every kind of meat, though.
Bo, no, do not allow that to happen. Put it in your will that if you do not, if your books and games do not find a good home, that the rest of their inheritance is for naught. I'm sure you can find a lawyer who would be happy to take that. Hell, take him off your hands if he's freaking a lawyer worth his shit. Uh, I was looking the other day uh, for a couple of books. I wasn't going to buy them, but I was just curious because I finally found my Deities, Demigods, and Heroes book, and I was looking for a copy of that a couple of months ago, and it's like $100 book now. Okay, and mind you,
Yeah.
this is like a seventh or eighth printing. Mind you, it's a 50-year-old book, but a D&D book. If you go and look up just about any D&D game book right now, the prices are insane. Normally, right now, as you guys know, this would be literally the season to buy them because people are desperate for money. But apparently, people have been doing their homework and taking my advice or something and looking up what they're about to sell to find out the price. You can't pick up the three original D&D books, the digest books, for less than about $100 a piece, regardless of the printing and regardless of the shape they're in. That's insane.
Well, I mean, some people don't want you. You've got the issue of some people who are so determined not to give Wizards of the Coast money that they're actually just buying off of eBay rather than spending the $19 to get a reprint from Drive Through RPG.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's a part of it too. That
But
drives the
like,
prices.
what? I don't get these people that are like, I don't want to give WotC money, but then just don't move on to a game with the exact same rules but made by somebody totally different. Yeah, you're still obsessed with the name, right? Like,
There are
why?
a lot of games out there that are damn near the same one.
I mean, I can tell you why. For me, I think a lot of it's nostalgia.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I mean, that's the first game I ever saw as a kid. It stuck.
But there are a lot of people that do that are not nostalgic. They just do it because it's the only name they know, and are too lazy or stupid to look around.
But
Well, you
we
have
should
to
fix that.
remember, Justin, some people are rice-a-roni jabronis.
Mm.
Or as we also used to call them back in the day in Battlefield, no impact players. Because it was like, you're here, but you're not going to have any impact on anything that happens in this match. We both know it. You're going to have a 0 and 50 freaking kill rating. Get out of here, you know? And
What's
there's
up,
a lot
Derek?
of
Welcome to
people
the show.
like that.
Well, it's not even just the game books either, though. I was looking at some other books, and it is freaking crazy. There's no reason why a paperback book should cost 25 to 50 bucks because it's out of print.
That's
Well,
why.
that's why. I think it could cost more than that. Um, there are books that can go up to like thousands of dollars, right? Like
Oh yeah, yeah.
paperbacks.
I own some, but I mean, if it's a classic, if it's an original print, like my Sherlock Holmes first printing, things like that. Yeah, absolutely. My first printing of the three Lord of the Rings books. Yeah, absolutely. That's you've got 100 years. Good luck finding it. But a book that came out in the
You have a first printing of Lord of the Rings.
yeah.
You sure it isn't like the omnibus, the first printing of the omnibus, or
Oh no, no, no. Here, I'll show it to you.
yeah?
And I got it for literally for free.
Okay, because
The only
When
book
my
I have
when my mom
that
was she
might
was living
be
at a senior
considered
how
center.
much does
It's
a
pretty
first
beat
printing
up.
of Lord of the Rings go for?
Cool.
is I have
Yeah.
a couple of Gord the Thief novels that were signed by Gary Gygax.
That's going to bring you some money when the time comes, or one of your children or something like that.
Lord of the Rings.
I had an opportunity to buy the original those Gord books, but I kind of viewed them as kind of like Sergio Aragonés Gru stories, and I'm just like, I'm not in the mood. If I want to read into Barbarian, I'll go Conan. Were they like as humorous as I thought, or were they more serious?
So Shadow, if that's in a like a moderate condition, it's just like $100 million for that first
No,
printing.
I don't think it's worth quite that much. It's beat up.
Yeah, no. There are some pretty bad conditions going out there for at least 40 mil.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
That's
last
tempting.
time we ever see Shadow again.
No, you would see me. You
If
would.
it's actually a first edition, right? Like that's the thing.
Like,
Well, I got it from a woman who my mom was living in a senior center, and since
Yeah.
I had to visit her every day, I'd end up helping folks, with little dumb things because nobody else's kid ever visited except on the weekends. So when she was getting ready to move on to her next, adventure, she was giving things away, and she said, "Hey, I know you're into this sort of thing." But if it was worth 40 million, you would see me again because you would see nonstop advertisements for my chain of gaming stores, uh, all over the freaking place.
yeah, that would be the worst move ever. Game stores go out of business too much.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, that's why I kept telling Shadow that if he opens one, it's got to be an ancillary to other businesses, right? Like
Sure.
the restaurant next door, the arcade room, the
No, it's
the
actually a
three
second
the
edition.
the
Sorry,
th-
dude.
yeah
No,
the $3 shower because you're not allowed in if you smell.
so I'm not a multimillionaire yet. It's a second edition,
That's
Yeah,
$30. Yeah.
but you know what? I'm okay with that.
like it comes with a little soap packet and a disposable towelette.
Like at the truck stops.
Yeah.
But
Pay the
check it out.
money, go in.
It does have the actual map in it of Middle Earth,
Yeah,
and when you take off the slip cover, tell me that's
yeah.
not pretty cool.
That is cool. You should still look up how much they are because second edition's still pretty old, right? But
Yeah,
yeah,
because
I was watching a thing with I know The Hobbit went for like 300 million not too long ago.
300 million.
Wow.
Holy smokes!
And the copy that they were showing was not in particularly good condition. It was in
Wow.
okay condition, but it wasn't in the like mint.
It is. This is a first print,
Yeah,
1965. So, but I'm glad I have it because all of my paperbacks look like crap,
yeah,
and I
yeah. Look at my precious tech war, man. Look, the
you-
the edge. I brought it from over there, and I just haven't put it on the shelf yet. But
oh, wait a minute. This should be the other way around, left to right. But yeah, it was weird. I was buying those the clock.
and it's a folio edition too, so that might be worth more or less, depending if it's like you don't know if it's the second folio edition, right? It might not be. The folio is that box you're
Yeah,
holding.
yeah, yeah.
Um, because you don't know. It could be like the 27th edition, but it's the second folio edition.
Uh-huh.
You know.
Do you want to know something really crazy?
Yeah.
But
With $300 million, you could go to Libya and buy 6 million slaves.
what?
Well, yeah, they're that's the thing.
They're 500,000. Yeah, but you couldn't go to Libya and buy 6 million slaves. They don't got 6 million people in the country.
I'm saying though, you could afford 6 million of them.
Yeah. Well, you could afford 1 million of them, and then the price would radically go up because of demand costs.
Yeah, I mean, as demand goes up, you're right, 100% correct.
There are supply and demand curves.
Because
I don't know, Bo. Jackie and his friends, they're still playing paper and pencil. Sure, they use minis, but
Yeah.
they have no intention of doing anything differently.
There are enough people playing paper and pencil out there that I was able to make a variant workbook sheet, character sheet, and sell them. So
They made $56.
that
Remind me
$58.
how much you mind me asking how much you charge per sheet?
$12. No, I sell them in a book of 60 sheets, so it's 60 pages of paper that you have to cut out yourself because it's on Amazon and that's how print on demand works.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I sell each book for $12
Oh
American
no
and
way!
$12 Canadian.
This is awesome. I just opened up that box of minis that Grim gave me, and there's actually a Mongoose catalog. And right here on the back, I see all the Babylon 5 things that I never owned. I now feel
Oh,
like I must, but I don't know where the freaking where.
Babylon 5 Wars are like almost impossible to
No, no, I know. And I wouldn't even know where to put them. And I know damn well I could just 3D print them if I wanted them that badly.
they're
And
all out
would
there.
never freaking
Play it? Oh yeah, I'm well aware
play.
of that. Right?
It,
Oh,
it would be
Well,
like,
see, that's
I
why
have an Earth Force
I got to open
destroyer
a
over
game
there.
shop. I open a game shop, and then I, just bring in homeless people out of the rain. Hey, come here. What are you doing? Nothing. That's what I
send
thought.
homeless
That's what I
people
thought.
force them to
Tell you what.
play.
I got a shower right over around the corner. You go get the shower. There's a smock or one of those. What are the things they wear in the hospital?
Yeah.
Put that on. Come in here. Get you a hot cup of soup. We're gonna play some Babylon 5 and watch them run screaming in any other direction.
Uh,
You can download quite a few of the ships from Bab 5 on
Yeah.
Thingiverse for free.
Thingiverse actually has more ships than they ever made for the game.
Yeah.
Right, Bo. But that's why I've got like 3 copies of all the original AD&D books. That way I can, have an edition for Jackie, an edition for Jackie's kids, and then their grandkids, and just keep that secret cult of AD&D going.
I've got a ton of. I've showed them off before. Centurion, Blood and Steel. I printed up both of the armies from that in at 15 millimeter scale.
Ooh,
That's the one with the grav tanks that look like sleds. That fascinated
FASA.
Renegade Legion.
I totally get that, Bo. That's why it's so funny. Because I mean, if I only wanted to make money, I would just open up a completely different business, maybe even
Yeah.
just a bookstore. But
Well, you could have just a bookstore if you do the strip mall like you originally suggested. You could definitely have a bookstore there, but they're also kind of like
they're hard to find. I don't have a bookstore. When I
yeah.
moved in where I live, we had like two bookstores. The only bookstore we have is a Barnes and Noble, and to me that doesn't count because it's half of it is, a place to buy coffee.
Yeah.
So
Well, they do that to keep the fucking big store afloat.
I'll bet. I'll bet. Uh,
Um, there,
Pizza restaurants have one of the most effective um, investment versus return of any kind of restaurant.
yeah, pizza joints.
Yeah, because pizza is relatively cheap to make compared to what you can charge.
And and they charge an arm and a leg for like the
Yeah.
toppings.
Yeah, it's
Like,
ridiculous. Uh,
um,
I bet Raven's got some like fantastical books in her collection. I've seen
Oh yeah.
some of her collection. You could probably fund an entire home for wayward cat. Wait a minute, you already do that. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah. Nice.
uh,
Yeah.
uh,
No, I have books like how to make wands, and I have
yeah,
books on protection magic, and then I have some mostly like history books. But I have some fantasy books in here too.
yeah.
Hmm.
well,
How much?
history books are going to be pretty sought after at some point. I think,
I have a book on
or
like what
entirely
your name means.
illegal. Get your ass out of here, Chip. Come
Really.
on.
Well, I tell you this: the reason why bookstores are getting harder and harder to find is because 80%, it's like 74, 75 something. It's getting close to 80% of all literature sold on the planet is sold through Amazon. With Barnes and Noble being the second largest, if I remember correctly. Specifically, Ingram Spark, which is their self publishing division.
It's sad. That's really sad. Bookstores were just my favorite, my absolute favorite, besides libraries.
Yes,
We used to
but
hang out, and it's just sad. I mean, we used to have 3 bookstores in this area where I lived, and now there's just one.
there's a good reason for it though. It's if the bookstore can't sell a book, right, it's either chewing up space on their shelf or being sent back. So it becomes a 100% waste of material because it ends up getting destroyed, right? Because bookstores don't send the book back; they just send the cover back, and they're supposed to destroy the book.
Yep.
Oh, I didn't know
Yep.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If you ever find books without covers, that's usually what happened.
yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, yeah,
And
I felt like that.
it's technically illegal for you to own, but it's classified as stolen property
Oh, well, I'll
if
get in more trouble probably for the.
well, you just say
I've got.
it's in your personal collection. You could probably just get away with saying no, I'm just bad with maintaining my books, but that's why it's a
You
quotation
bought them at a
thing.
flea market.
Yeah. But yeah, that happens a lot. But also it creates like the on-demand supply chain allows them to just keep printing the book as needed, not in like warehouse storages of them. That's
Which
why
is pretty smart.
I've
that's
ordered
why
lots
when
of books though through the retailers and tried to
yeah,
avoid Amazon just to keep those local bookstores open. There used to be like used bookstores everywhere, You can
Yeah,
find a little hole in the wall place, and I love those kind of places. You know, when you
I
go in,
do too.
that smell of those all those old books and
That's
stuff.
where I got my tech war. It
Ah,
was like
okay.
it was like $2, and I looked at the guy and said, "Whoa!" And he's like, "I can't sell it to you for less than that." And I was like, "I thought it would be more."
I could spend days in
Yeah,
places like
let's
that.
face it.
Yeah,
Cover price for a book right now is a steal. When I bought those
yeah.
two,
Now that's another thing that Amazon does. If you sell your book under $9.99, they give you higher royalties by a lot.
really,
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
it's like 70% royalties if you sell it under $9.99.
well,
Where like 1 penny more, it drops down to 30% royalties because they want to try and keep the cost affordable so more people can buy books.
that makes sense why Razorfish sold his books the way he did. Then
Yeah,
the two fantasy novels that he wrote.
yeah,
How'd he sell them? What do you do?
Only they were only like 100 pages, and it was like part one,
yeah,
part two, etc.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
But
Okay.
still, like you can sell. They don't care how big the book is. It does like affect the margin a little bit, but
Right, but when it comes to the cost of it,
yeah,
the less it costs to make, the more royalties you're going to get. So
yeah.
I could see that. I
No, it's kind of like the structure is fixed from what I understand, but so like they don't they structure the amount of materials going into the book, but it doesn't really affect the amount you get out of it. They have
okay.
like a minimum, like you can only have um the smallest I think is 120 pages,
Mhm.
Does that include
so
art?
that's 60 sheets of paper, right? That's why I sold my game sheet book that size because that was the minimum amount of pieces of paper I could put in the thing.
You were
Does that
saying about
include
art?
art? Does that include art? If you wanted to have like a picture in front of every chapter or on the back?
I'd have to look into it. That
Well,
they
art is
have
going to be a separate cost to the
the,
writer himself. He's going to have to pay
yeah
for the art.
Like a line drawing. You know, I've got a lot of
yeah.
books that are like that. Just have a line drawing, and then do they count it like per page, or does it mean printed page?
No, they don't care what's on the page, just
Okay.
whether it's black and white or in color. That there are like a list of
and,
categories that you
and
can sell.
sometimes the color images will be made with a better paper as well.
I think they use the same paper throughout the whole book when they do.
I bet it's
Uh,
both. Oh no, it's not.
Ingram gives you more options
Welcome to the show, Mac.
than Amazon,
Hi,
but Amazon
Mac.
has better structuring. Hey Mac, what the hell do you got there, Mac?
Yeah.
Looks like a
What
dice
is
tray.
that?
Looks like a dice
Well,
tray.
yeah, it's his dice tray, but he's got like a model there and a bunch of skulls and some bone chunks.
Cool, cool. As long as it's like not from a live chicken. I'm
Whoa, you
Bone
got a
bones.
problem? I don't know where I put my chicken bone. It's on one of these shelves over here somewhere.
Oh my god,
You
that
you,
reminds me of the.
you
I've been
see my
watching.
chicken bone?
I've
I
been
used to
watching a
blaze
lot
it.
of Married with Children, and I see these clips, and there was a clip of Kelly and Bud. They noticed that the dog had a bone and it still had meat on it, so they ran after the dog.
Yeah, they got down on all fours and were like ravenous, and I remember that clip.
Yeah, well, it just
Uh,
showed him running after the dog. You didn't even see the dog, but it was funny.
yeah,
Um,
I thought I saw them getting down. I remember them getting down on all fours and going after food a few
I could
times.
see that. Mac, are you there?
He's trying to figure out his mic.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
I suppose I should move this screen away and actually look at what people are saying.
That would help.
Well, no, if you saw my screen, it's kind of dumb. They put the chat button underneath the need help button. Yeah, I need you to move the help button. Uh,
Yeah, well, you should do that. They have that thing at the end of every video. Just keep popping it in there. Move the help button away from the chat.
yeah, I got this perfect place all the way on the left hand corner. It's like a square inch. Put it over there.
Yeah, put it directly under the 5 panel buttons. Right under the share screen. It could be like below there in the middle. It could be up at the top next to the leave button.
Come on, Chew, let's go back into
You don't have that problem on our end, It's only on the host's end.
Yeah, it's dumb.
Yeah.
Incredibly counterintuitive, but it is kind of funny that it is under the help button.
Yeah, or the chat.
Uh,
So, how about you, James? You thought of writing another book?
no,
Really?
I wrote the one, and that's basically it.
Well, let me ask you this: have you ever planted a tree?
Have I ever planted a tree?
Yeah.
Yes, multiple.
Okay. So, is it too late for you to have a son?
No, but I have an 8-year-old grandson.
That'll work. So, you're an immortal. Welcome to the club.
And
You don't need any of those
I
things,
have
Shadow.
4 granddaughters.
How about now, Mac? Your mic working?
Nope.
Find those ghosts, Shadow. Hey, Cal, how you doing? I should water when I was down there. I'll just have the boy bring me up some water. I need to get a nope. I need
Yeah.
to get a special intercom or something for downstairs so I can have the boy bring me stuff.
Yeah, I refilled my water bottle just before coming up before the show started.
I've gone through almost 2 sitting here. It is pretty toasty up here.
My water bottle.
It's actually pretty nice here.
Wow, it's gonna be 104 next week.
We've got this humidity that's just god awful, and it's like 102. It feels like 102, but it's 91. We've got over 63% now humidity. Where are you at, James?
Orlando.
Orlando. Okay. Well, yeah, you know all about humidity being in Florida. I couldn't stand living in Florida.
I figured that, Cal.
I barely can stand living in Florida myself.
The weather or something else?
It's not Kentucky.
Okay.
Then why don't you move to Kentucky?
Because my wife's career is down here. And just because I'm retired doesn't mean she is yet. So
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So it sucks.
I lived in Orlando briefly, 6 months, and it felt like years. It was horrible. With it,
No worries, Mac.
being there, it was everybody was from out of town. No one knew how the hell to drive. The weather was miserable. These little
So it's
lizards
full of
were all through my house.
Californians, huh?
And the UPS airplane that came in and landed at 2:30 in the morning every morning, Monday through Sunday, went right over our house and shook every window, every door, every closet. It was dreadful.
Oh, you live in the city part.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I live in a suburb.
We had police helicopters at least twice a week going over everyone's backyard looking for people with a spotlight. It was horrible. I hated every minute of
About Paramount or something?
So they didn't catch you, huh, Raven?
it. No. No, we had an alligator loose in the neighborhood one day. And it was like everybody lived in their garage. It was so weird. We were in this little housing edition, and everybody, they had sofas, TVs, everybody was in their garage. And they'd park on the street.
Mm-hmm.
And then they just had like street parties every night.
That's
Well, everybody be shit faced by 9 o'clock. And then the music would start. And it was like a street party every night.
Yep, that's a thing.
That's the way it was in Virginia, except that they had the couches in the front yard. Not even kidding. Every night, I was working construction, and pretty much everybody on that street, we all worked together. I'm not even kidding. There was like 20 houses. We all worked in the same place, and every night, after work, after dinner, everybody be out there drinking and whooping and hollering, and yeah, it was It was okay. The music wasn't always my taste. Now it would be,
Mm.
which is weird. Now if I moved in, I'd fit in. Back then, I was from California, so my nickname was of course Hollywood. Um, thank God I never told him I was actually born in Hollywood. I'd never heard the end of that crap.
That's a cool nickname.
It's
Yeah,
not. I mean, there's worse. There's worse.
yeah, they're like Batman, getting Batman
You
jokes all
could
the
have
time.
ended up being called the Wizard.
No, I didn't have a beard back then, or long hair.
No, but when the guys I worked with found out I played D&D,
Yeah,
my
Hmm.
nickname from then on become the Wizard.
yeah. I wasn't playing so much D&D at the time. I was more into Warhammer Fantasy Battles. So, I'd
Oh,
have one of the books in my lunch bag so that I had something to read while I was, scarfing down lunch, and I always got roused.
there was that. Damn. Okay, never mind. My brain stopped.
Yeah,
I'm trying to do two things at one time, and it's not
Okay,
working.
Justin, you were awfully quiet while we were talking about nicknames. Come on, out with it.
never had that problem.
You never had a nickname?
Mm.
No? Well, would you like one? I'm sure we can think of something.
Production value.
We can call him Maverick.
Mm.
No?
Let me find those filters. You can call me Big Head. Wow.
So, what is that program that you have? What is that?
It's called Camo.
Camo.
Yeah, we lost Shadow. And it allows me to use the cell phone as the camera, but it has a bunch of like filters and stuff. But
Hmm.
yeah,
Okay. That's pretty cool. You did a cat one last week.
let's see if I can find it.
That was pretty funny.
Jaguar.
Jaguar.
Ah. It'd help if I turn some of these
That's a good look for you.
black and white filters off.
Oh, wow. That's really cool.
Ah.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. What do you have? Are there other animals that you can do?
No, this is the only other animal is if I can find it. Whoa, what the hell? Oh, that's lightning over the place.
Kind of cool.
One
What's
second.
on top of your head?
Yeah, let me zoom out. Oh, oh.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I have a live one that does that a lot. It just comes up, usually drapes across my shoulders or sits on top of my head like that.
Now, what was all the filters I had turned on? I don't remember.
Hmm.
I don't know, man.
What?
About anything.
What are you reading now?
I'm just sitting here painting and listening to you guys.
Are you reading anything?
Me?
Yeah.
I have
No.
been reading Baptism of Fire a lot.
Baptism of Fire.
Yeah,
That's a role playing game, right?
that's the role playing game. Yeah. Trying to
Don't
make
know
sure
what
I
happened to Shannon. He'll
understand
be
it.
back,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure. I mean, it is his show. He'll be back, but we don't know what happened, George.
Mm.
Okay, where is my light gray?
Yeah. I'm not reading anything right now, but I've got to start. We're supposed to start that whatever book was selected for the book club in a couple of
Yeah,
weeks.
what was selected?
Oh, the Appendix N book club thing you guys were doing?
Yeah, let me open up Discord. Discord. Shadow's power went out. That's why he's gone.
Oh,
He is in California.
Yeah, they got the rolling blackouts. Uh, um, Vance, Dying Earth, but I
Yep.
don't know what one of the Dying Earth short stories we're doing. I don't know what the first one's called.
okay.
Uh,
I
I
think
want to
it's
say it's so and so of the Thousand Eyes or something like that.
uh
I
they
could
got a
big fan of Vance. Vance is good.
yeah.
Vance is good. Lieber is good. I was never a huge fan of Moorcock at all, ever.
That was our last one. We did Moorcock.
Yeah,
And
everybody's always
I
like,
thought it was
"Oh,
uh,
friggin' what's his name? Elric, he's the best." Is like, nah, I think he sucks.
the writing was repetitively bad. He repeated the first opening twice. Um, like he described something, then described it again, just for page count. And he did that a couple of times. Lazy writing.
I just
Uh, not
couldn't.
that I'm any better.
You know what I mean? It is just like
Yeah.
this is just not really interesting.
You know, you know who did the fantasy genre better?
Who?
Freaking Dean Koontz, and he doesn't even do that kind of writing anymore.
I'm
His
interested.
first or second movie, first or second book was a fantasy book.
What is it?
Yeah, and he stopped doing that right away. It's still better than Moorcock. Dean Koontz. That's a fucked up guy.
Is it?
You ever read any Dean Koontz?
No, no.
There are quite a few good Dean Koontz books.
I remember
Dark
seeing
Rivers of the
a
Heart.
movie with Brad Pitt, or not Brad Pitt,
Phantoms.
and Ben Affleck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember seeing that one.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I think the book was darker.
For some
I can't
reason,
remember.
Jay and Silent Bob really loved that movie.
Yeah, because their buddy was in it. That's why.
They're always
Phantoms was the
off
bomb.
on it.
Yeah.
Ben Affleck was the bomb in Phantoms, yo.
Mm-hmm.
And yet they hate Matt Damon.
Yeah, but it's a joke because he's like their friend, right?
I don't know.
No, in real life, he's their friend.
In the animated series, Matt Damon was driving a car and they threw a milkshake in his window.
Yeah.
It was like, what? Phantoms is the bomb, yo. Is Phantoms the one where it was like the Cthulhu worm things?
I think so.
They were like basically Chthonians and they were doing all kinds of shit. I don't know.
I'd have to watch it again. I liked Dark Rivers of the Heart. I wish they'd turn that one into a movie. It was a good book. There are a few others. Demon Seed. You ever watch the old Demon Seed movie
Demon
with the
Seed?
computer that traps the woman in the house?
Doesn't sound familiar, bro.
It's from the '60s. Soul Survivor. They made a TV movie of that with Zane, Billy Zane, I think it was. It wasn't Billy Zane. It was the guy that looks like him.
I don't know.
Soul Survivor.
Soul Survivor.
Yeah. It's a good song.
Warriors, come out and play. Sorry,
Yeah. No.
totally a
It's
different thing.
totally reasonable. No, it's one of those things that's very fucking hard to find on IMDb.
So imagine this: you're playing a role-playing game, and you're
Yeah.
playing like a female holy warrior that's like took a vow of celibacy, right? But then this demon puts a curse on you, and you fail your saving throw, and it makes you very promiscuous.
Mm-hmm.
So now you've basically broken your vow of celibacy, and you're kind of hosed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But is it like a Paxinarian thing where it was against your will, so it doesn't count?
It is against your will, but it's not going to matter as far as like in this particular game. In addition to alignment, they have a thing called infamy and fame. And
Mm-hmm.
if like members of the church find out that you've been promiscuous,
Right.
even though you've taken an oath,
Okay.
then you gain infamy.
Okay, I just heard from Shadow. The whole
Is-
town is out of power, even the Walmart. And
Oh
he said
shit!
that without a host, if the power doesn't come back on in 20 minutes, we're going to get cut off. He said
Yeah.
he would try to get back on, but just to keep rolling. And yeah, in 20 minutes, we're going to get axed, basically.
Well, 10 minutes from when he left.
Oh, so now we've only got 10 minutes?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah. The way they solve you leaving the stream on by accident is by putting a timer when you leave the room.
Huh.
And it's in the background because it costs the money to host these things, and if nothing's actually happening,
Yeah, I was actually live streaming, but then I remembered that Shadow live streamed, so I stopped and came over here.
Good. I'm glad you did.
Mm.
Well, I was just painting, so it wasn't super exciting. Painting and talking shit about Wizards of the Coast, so basically same-o.
Yep.
Actually, no, I think I was being positive in this stream, and I was talking about how good Baptism of Fire is.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't even talking about Wizards of the Coast. I was just talking about Baptism of Fire and how it's pretty badass.
What is that about?
Baptism of Fire is RPG Pundit's new game,
Okay.
and it takes place in the 11th century Poland.
Hmm.
So it's kind of D&D-ish, but not really, but kind of. I mean, it's a D20 system, so there is that, but it does work very differently because of skills and stuff. However, imagine, like I said, it's 11th century Poland, right? But all of the monsters and shit from Slavic mythology do exist.
Mm-hmm.
So your characters have to deal with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
In addition to all the other crap you might have to deal with, like the fact that
It's the 11th century.
this guy right here I've been painting, I need to shade his helmet. He's a Lithuanian, right?
Oh, okay. Uh-huh.
Like the banner.
Lithuanians absolutely, huh?
Like the banner.
That's the Lithuanian fire wheel.
Yes.
Cool.
Like, yeah, I actually downloaded this from Northern Crusades, the Lithuanians. They absolutely hate Christians. Like they're pagan and they intend to stay pagan.
They
Mm-hmm.
didn't.
So that can be an issue.
Spoiler warning, they didn't.
Yeah, they lose in the end. But then also you have the Pomeranian province of Poland, and they also are not really looking forward to giving up their pagan religion. So
Spoiler warning, they didn't either.
they don't. Basically, you play characters that are involved in the politics and everything of this world.
Well, wasn't the first of the Crusades in the 11th century? Do I have my
It
history right?
The Second Crusade is currently going on.
Okay.
Yeah, the
Well, there's and then what? 1066 was the Battle of Hastings, so that would have been when England was being invaded by um,
The Normans.
the Normans. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
England has already been invaded by the Normans. Russia has already converted to Orthodoxy under Vladimir the Great. And the Piast family, the reason they're really pushing Christianity is they've been trying to unify the Polish for all this time. But every tribe has their own gods and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
So they're thinking that if they can convert all the Poles to one religion, then
They'll
maybe
unify them.
unify the country, right?
What crusade was the one that was about going after French monks? Was it French monks or Russian monks?
Well, the
Pacifist monks,
Northern
right?
Crusade was when the Roman Catholics tried to wipe out Orthodoxy. Didn't work out.
No, it was about pacifistic monks that
Uh,
were like, we need to be like turn the other cheek and not fight back and shit
are
like
you
that.
talking about the Cathars?
Mm,
And
They
then
were
might
there
have
was
later, I
been.
think.
a thing where it
It
was
was like the third or fourth crusade.
Yeah,
It
I
was an
think it
early
was.
one.
and, and then of course there was always the constant battle between the Gnostics and the
Mm.
less Gnostic.
Yeah.
The Gnostics were right.
The Vikings were invading.
It's a hard thing because there's like a billion different fucking flavor of Gnostic, so you can just
Right. It's not
one
like
of them
you can
might
say,
be.
this is the Gnostic religion because there's like a million of them.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's just a text interpretation, right? Some of them are batshit insane. Some of them might make sense,
I
especially with
think
how
the
much the
two
text has
big
been meddled
things
with.
that make Gnostic is one, you have to believe that the earth is ruled over by an evil God.
Not all forms of Gnosticism are like that.
Yeah, but
Yaldabaoth.
that's one of the big things. And the
Yeah.
other one is that Jesus never took human flesh.
Mm.
He was always a spirit.
Oh, really?
The Cathars
That's one of the
were,
mainstays in Gnosticism.
yeah, I think the Cathars were why they started the Inquisition in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of
Now,
course,
I can get behind.
it got out of control.
Well,
I
yeah.
can,
When you
I
got a
can
bunch of
get
men
behind.
together, of course it's going
I,
to get out of control.
I can get behind the Yahweh's actually Satan
Well,
side
it's,
of
the
Gnosticism.
Gnostics called the it was a demiurge, and they called it
Demiurge.
Yaldabaoth.
It was, some of them do.
Yes, some of them do.
That there's the one that says no, Lucifer's actually God and Yahweh's actually the devil.
There are some
Yeah.
Gnostics
Yeah.
that believe the
Just
Old
because
Testament God
you know,
is 100% the devil.
just because the promise that was given to Jesus that he revoked was the same one given to the Jews that they accepted,
Yeah.
which was like you'll own everyone's land and have fucking mansions and shit like that.
but it's a weird religion
well,
or philosophy.
it's technically still Christianity. It's just a different
Yet,
interpretation on
yet
a core
they teach a
principle.
doctrine of thou shalt not kill. Yet there have been more deaths on this planet fighting over religion.
Mhm.
No, not even close.
No, you wouldn't say so?
There's
Well,
been more deaths in China during the last 100 years over the communist takeover than every religious war combined.
Mm.
oh, okay. I
I
don't
mean,
know.
in the time of these religious wars, like the 7 Year War and the 100 Years War and the 30 Years War and all that, Europe didn't even have the population that Mao Zedong killed. Mao
Mm.
Zedong killed more people than the total population of Europe.
Yeah.
So it's not
Well,
even close.
and a lot of people during the 30
About
Years War died of
wars,
starvation, not war.
it's like, well, were the Greek wars, do they count? And how about Rome? They conquered everything. And the Huns. The Huns killed
Yeah.
what, a tenth of the population of the earth? They were not religious. Really.
Yeah, true.
Well, they didn't do it for their religion. They had a religion, but
Well, they were kind of shamanistic, right? And then some of them become Muslims.
well, that's a religion. Right?
Yeah, but I'm just saying that was kind of their thing, right?
Yeah, that wasn't why they were killing people.
No, they were killing people because they were bored and,
They were raiders. They were raiding for stuff.
yeah, that's kind of the thing. It's like their whole invasion of Europe was an accident. Genghis Khan sent Subutai out to scout, except every time they scouted, they won. So they kept scouting, and they ended up scouting all the way to Poland because it was like no one could beat them. It was like these little bastards show up with their fast little horses and their recurve bows. It was like, what are you going to do? Stand there and die? Pretty much.
Well,
You're
the first
not
time
going to run
you get hide.
because they conquered all of the Russian princedoms except for the ones in the farthest north, which surrendered and agreed to pay money to not get burnt to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
They're the only country to ever invade Russia in the winter and win. The Mongols.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they're pretty amazing, really, and they're also zero F's given about it, which I love. Like in Karakum, which I think is the name of the capital of Mongolia, they built a giant bronze statue of Genghis Khan.
Yes, I've seen that.
It's like
not
hundreds
for
of
real life. I've just seen it on TV, but oh my god, that thing is so amazing.
It's
And
like gold.
like, these guys know what Genghis Khan done, and they're not ashamed. They're like,
Yeah.
yeah, we did.
Yeah, they hid his tomb. They haven't found it yet.
Yeah, and it's like,
Well, he was probably buried out in some field somewhere.
and what is it, like 1 in 10 Asian people is directly related?
Yes, directly related to him because he spread his seed far and wide.
I mean, talk about the ultimate badass, right? And then as a
Yeah.
culture, they are not ashamed of him.
No,
They're
it's
all
not
like,
at all.
Our guy was a badass.
Yeah.
Your guys were a bunch of sissies, and you got worked.
Well,
You could almost hear the Mongolians literally just saying, use tactics, noobs, or some shit like that.
get good.
Get good, noobs. We're coming through. Get good. It's like, which eventually the Russians did. And how they got good is they copied everything the Mongolians did.
But better.
And then, but a little bit better. Yeah. And they're like, hey, guess what? We have horse archers with recurved bows, and except we got metal armor instead of leather. So, let's do this shit. But yeah, man. I love the fact that the Mongolians are no F's given about their history.
Mm-hmm.
We used to be the same way.
I think everyone should be that way.
Mm-hmm.
No one should ever be made to feel ashamed.
Mm-hmm.
Mac Shadow has a power outage. The whole town is out.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna get going. The
Shadow
clock's
lives in
gonna.
the desert too, so
Yeah. I don't
there's
think he's that
clearly
far
no
in.
telling when anyone will be there to fix it.
He's not that far out in the boonies.
No.
No.
All right. Just yeah, man. It's crazy.
Oh.
So Fritz Lieber, or no, you said
Jack Pants.
Vance, Dying Earth. A lot of great stories there. A lot of great
Mm-hmm.
stories there.
Uh,
It's super far future too.
yeah.
That's kind of the whole deal. That's where Gygax got the idea of the magic, because in Dying Earth, magic is like a mathematical equation, kind of. And you have to do the equation and then you memorize the equation. And it's basically like you have a small demon living in your head. And that's the spell. The energy's in there, you know? And then when you say the final word, it happens. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So there's a reason Vance in Magic was a thing,
Mm-hmm.
because Gygax he liked Tolkien, but that wasn't his favorite thing. His favorite thing was like pulp.
Pulp. Yeah.
So, he was a lot more into like Conan and Bafford and the Grey Mouse, or stuff like that. And
Baffert and
that's cool,
Grandmaster.
I mean, I used to be, and I guess still am, like a huge Tolkien super fan. I do love J.R.R. Tolkien's writings, but I never base any of the games that I play on him unless I am actually playing like Middle Earth role playing. Otherwise,
Yeah. Raven, I said eat them. Don't torture them first.
Not these kittens. There are some kittens over here at my desk,
Yeah.
and
they're
hungry again.
well, that's what babies do,
Yeah.
eat and poop.
Eat and
But yeah, so that's why in my old homebrew world there were no halflings,
Mm-hmm.
because I was always like, that's really a Tolkien thing, the idea of halflings. Now in Baptism of Fire, there's just humans, but you're pretty much welcome to be any type of human you want, as long as
What?
I said as long as you're Slavic. No, that's not true. If you have, like I said, if you have the Silk Road book, you could literally play anything from China to Jerusalem.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to play an Ethiopian or an Asian or whatever, you absolutely could do that.
Cheers, Mac.
Yeah.
Next time.
Search this issue.
Yeah. It's weird. Well, I'm actually going to get going because this thing's going to shut down any minute now.
Yeah, and I got some kittens to feed here. They're restless.
Yeah.
I'm
So
dying for it to shut down.
They're
okay. Well,
Do it.
if you want to yell at the blank screen until it does, just don't get Shadow. Just remember, Shadow only produces gay porn off of YouTube. These days.
And he ain't even here to defend, so he just
He never does. He just laughs and giggles.
eat it.
It's like he can force himself to stop.
Eat it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, good night, gentlemen. I will see you
Good.
later.
Party on all.
And meow, 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 meow. Yep, with Silk Road and Baptism of Fire, you can basically play any game you want, Cal. It's pretty amazing.